Well, hello there. It has been a minute since I've done a makeup tutorial, and it's also been a minute since I've actually had a homely background. Homely? That's not the right word. But you get what I'm saying. I finally got my guest house done. They just finished it a couple of days ago. And as you can tell from the echo, it is still missing a lot of furniture. So I'm sorry for any sound issues, but I'm very excited to do this look for you and also a little mini haul because in my New York Fashion Week vlog, I told you guys a story about Charlotte Tilbury pulling me aside backstage at the Rachel Zoe presentation and just giving me a ton of products, which obviously I was thrilled about. A lot of you on Instagram and on YouTube asked for a haul. And if you're not a fan of hauls, I'm going to leave a timestamp down in the description box and you guys can just skip ahead to the makeup tutorial. So as I mentioned, the products that Charlotte Tilbury gave me were just from her, like her assistant brought out like this luggage full of stuff from, you know, having done the model's makeup that day at the show. So she just kind of unzipped it and started giving me stuff from there. And she put it in this adorable bag. It is so cute. I'm not even into makeup bags, but this is so awesome. It says, give the woman the right makeup and she can conquer the world on one side. And then you've got lips on the other. I just love the colors. The tones are so pretty. The dark kind of eggplant maroon shade and then the rose gold metallic writing on it. So why don't we zip this baby open and see what's inside. So the first thing we started talking about was how much I love the Film Star bronzer and highlighter duo. It's one of my favorite products from Charlotte Tilbury. And then she got to kind of learn about me that I'm such a big fan of neutrals, and that's when she started giving me these eyeshadow quads. She had 3 on her that she was able to give me. One is the Dolce Vita, which is actually what I'm wearing right now. It's what I did the tutorial with. You've got a kind of metallic, not metallic, slightly satin shimmery beige. You've got a cranberry, a really sparkly copper, and then that satiny neutral brown. The next one is my personal favorite. It is called the Golden Goddess and it is the most neutral of all of her eyeshadow quads. Again, you've got a satin beige. You have this sort of pewtery brown shade and then a much warmer kind of cocoa brown. And then this, which is, again, kind of a sparkly pewter gold shade. It looks stunning on. In fact, I put up an Instagram post a couple of days ago where I just barely dabbed a little bit at the center of my lids and everyone was asking, what is on your eyes? It was this. And then one other palette that she gave me is the Vintage Vamp, which is a little bit outside of, you know, the colors that I use, but it's still stunning and I will definitely play with it. This one has more of the plummy purple shades. The lightest color here is like a shimmery lavender color. And then you've got kind of a brownish maroon shade and then a really true deep plum. And then this shimmery color is actually a really vibrant gold. So gold and purple, maroon, plum, those colors go really nicely together. I'm very, very sad to say that this next product I accidentally dropped and cracked. So I have to be very, very careful with the way I handle it. And I actually cracked it after I finished the tutorial. So in the tutorial, it looks nice and perfect and beautiful and new. But here it is the Cheek to Chic blush. I love that name. This one's called Sex on Fire. It's a really nice mauvey, berry, neutral blush, if that makes any sense. It kind of has everything you need for a good fall blush. In the center, the color is a little bit more mauvey and deep, and then on the outside, you get more of that pop of pink. So you swirl them together, and you get a really nice color, which I'm wearing. All right, when I tried these, well, when she took them out of the luggage, she was just swatching them on my hands, and each color she put on there, I was like, my eyes got wider and wider because I was so impressed by them. These are the Eyes to Mesmerize cream shadows. I don't even know what to say about them. I'm actually gonna swatch them on my hand and show you guys after I show you the hots. This one is called Marie Antoinette, and it's just a nice champagne color. The next one is Jean, which is a much more pearly, slightly on the more peach side, and it's a lot lighter. It's not quite as metallic looking as the other one. It's more highlight looking. And this one is called Bet. I'm pretty sure it's Bet. It can't be Betty. It's B-E-T-T-E. That's Bet, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this one is the most vibrant of the three. It is a more gold bronze color. It's just a little bit deeper. So there it is. I swatched it on my bony ass hand there. So you've got Jean right here, which now that I think about it, could very easily be Jean and not Jean. This one right here is Marie Antoinette, and this one is, what I'm going to deduce is Bet. So you can see these are all just really nice metallic shades. This one right here I really think could be very easily used as a highlight on the tops of the cheekbones, above your Cupid's bow, wherever you typically highlight. And these, I haven't used them as bases yet, but I have used them just as individual cream eyeshadows on their own, but they are just stunning. All right, the final product that I'm gonna share that Charlotte gave to me is this lipstick right here. It is called Very Victoria. This color is to die for. It is the perfect rosy, neutral nude shade, and you can kind of just dab it on a little bit for more of a sheer wash of color, or you can press a little bit harder for more of a deep color payoff. I don't know where I can even swatch this. I'm just gonna swatch it under these cream shadows. So there, you can have a look at that lipstick. Just, I'm telling you, that color, I haven't seen such a perfect rosy nude like this ever. So that does it for this sort of mini makeup haul. Now I'm gonna jump right into the makeup tutorial. I am applying one of my favorites, which is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This is in Y385. Now moving on to the concealer, I'm going to be using the Naked Skin by Urban Decay in medium. I haven't used this in a minute, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Just going to apply that directly. I'm kind of taking it easy with the highlighting because I do want this to end up being a pretty soft, effortless look and not so super polished. So I'm just going to use my beauty blender to poke myself in the eye repeatedly. And of course, just brightening up around the mouth a little bit. And trying not to drool. And then right into my forehead. And finally, just for a little bit of contour definition in my face, I'm going to use the Sculpt Series palette by Motives. I'm just going to use this color right here, which is the second to last color. I'm just going to put just a little mark right there. Definitely got that in my hair. I just have not been feeling too cute lately, and for some reason having my hair down makes me feel more attractive. That's kind of why I didn't pull my hair back for this video. I apologize if it bugs you. So I'm going to go in with that foundation side of the Beauty Blender and just blend that all in. This is just going to be a really soft contour, really just warming up my face. Now to set all of this, I'm going to use another product that I haven't used in a while, but I really love. This is by NARS, and this is their translucent powder in crystal. It kind of gives you more of a glowing finish as opposed to a super matte finish, but it's a really nice setting powder, but the mirror is really foggy. We'll just use this one. So for my blush, I'm going to be using one of the products that Charlotte Tilbury gave me. It's a beautiful neutral shade that I think is perfect for fall. So I'm just gonna dust that on. Now I do want to add a little bit more warmth to my face, but I want a glowing warmth, not a matte warmth. So I'm gonna take this Ambient bronzer from Hourglass. It's called Radiant Bronze Light. And this one has a really foggy mirror too. What am I doing with my products? We'll just use this mirror again. So I'm gonna take my fan brush here, dip into the bronzer and just go through and very lightly just warm up my face just a little bit more and give it that bronzy glow. All right, now that we are uncomfortably close to my face, we are gonna move on to the eyes. So first up, I am taking my Potion eyeshadow primer by Urban Decay, and I'm just going to smother that on my lids. The palette that I'm going to use for this look is this one right here. It is called the Dolce Vita. So I'm actually going to start with that cranberry color right there and use this in my crease. I know that's not how I usually do it. Usually I do a neutral color in my crease, but that's the challenge with this quad is there isn't really a transition color. So that's why I'm kind of showing it to you guys so you can get an idea of how to use it. So I'm just going to start right in here. Start working that color into the outer part of my crease. Trying not to go too high. Just gonna work it in a circular motion. And then once I got the color on there, I'm just gonna start blending out the edges. And what's beautiful about this color is where you place the color like really concentrated, like I did right here, it's gonna show up nice and rich and dark. And then once I start blending it out, it looks like more of just a pale, rosy, shimmery shade. And really working that into the crease so that I get most of the color deposit there and then again blending out. All right, next up I'm going in with a smaller blending brush. It's just a little bit more concentrated. And I'm gonna dip into this color right here, which is a little bit darker. And this color, I'm really just gonna work right into this outer part of my lid. I'm not really even extending it into the crease. I'm just kind of keeping it right there at the outer corner. And then I'm gonna go in with a really fluffy brush and just use that to smooth out the edges. This copper sparkly color is too good not to use, but the texture is very particular. You can't really use a brush with it unless you use like a synthetic brush that really grabs it, but I personally like to use my fingers. So I'm just gonna take my ring finger and smush it in there, and then I'm just gonna take that and start dabbing it onto my lid. Right at the center, and then working it into the inner corner. It just works better with a stickier surface like a finger than a brush. A brush is really just gonna make it look like just really loose sparkles everywhere. This makes it nice and concentrated. So again, just pressing that color into my lid. I'm not going to drag it because it's gonna give me a better payoff this way. So dip with my finger. My finger is like solid gold now. All right, now that I've got all the shadow down, I'm gonna move on to liner. And I'm actually gonna use a brown eyeliner. This is Dark Brown by LORAC. This is their front of the line pencil, and these are awesome. They glide right on and they stay on. So what I wanna do is I wanna have this brush handy, this smudger. Surprise, surprise, I'm gonna smudge my eyeliner. I'm just gonna apply that right there at the outer corner. And then using that smudger, I'm just gonna create a little mini wing. And just kind of smudge it out. I don't like to do shadow and eyeliner. It's usually either one or the other for me. So if I do add an eyeliner, I'm definitely gonna smudge it out. And again, same thing on this side. Starting at that outer corner and kind of tapering it inward, and then using that smudge brush to extend that wing, create a nice pretty shape. So I'm trying to decide what to do on my bottom lash line, and I don't want this look to get too dramatic. I still want it to be a semi-soft, smoky look. So I think what I'm gonna do is take the smudger and dip into that brown shade that I used on the top, and just very lightly smoke out the outer part of my bottom lash line. And since I've done that, I'm gonna go back to that brown eyeliner and just go into the waterline, again, just at the outer corner, just to sort of seal up any trace of skin. So the very inner part of my bottom lash line, there's just some residual copper sparkle that's fallen down there, and I kind of like it. So I'm just not a finished, polished kind of gal. So I love that unfinished look. I'm just gonna kind of let that stay the way it is. Moving on to mascara, I'm going to use my Givenchy Noir Couture. I've been using this a lot lately, and it's freaking fantastic. Just gonna run that through. See, like this mascara makes the outer part of my lashes stand up nice and tall. So I kind of feel like I don't need false lashes, maybe. So I am still pretty undecided about the lip that's gonna go with this look. I have a few options, one of them being a lipstick that Charlotte gave me. I'm just gonna try applying it and maybe layering over with a more nude shade. And I'm not gonna apply it really hard, I guess. I'm just gonna kind of dab it on, just so you can kind of get a feel for the color. So you see if I'm not applying too much pressure, it's more of a sheer color, even though it's not really sheer. It doesn't go on that dark, but if I pressed harder, it would go on much darker. So you can see the tone is just a little off for this eye look, and again, I think it's just a little bit too dark. Actually, on camera, it looks maybe a little bit dark, but in person, it doesn't look that dark. But again, the tone, I think, is off. So I'm gonna take my Too Faced Melted in Melted Nude and just kind of go over that. So again, that kind of corrects the tone of the color. I just think it was a little bit too cool for this eye look, so just warmed it up just a tad. So I'm really digging this look. I hope you guys liked it too. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear your feedback, and thank you as always for watching. I'll see you guys very soon.